Bastards. Hello there, state police. To any person who feels that they want to meddle in my live feeds because it enables and empowers and inspires many people, and has the possibility to enable and empower many people. I suggest that if my live feeds are cutting out because jamming is going on my internet, I will confirm that I have BT internet. I have BT high broad speed band. I pay about £56 for my home phone. In fact, my total balance is £76 to pay for my mobile phone, which has internet, my house phone, and my high speed, top of the fucking range, ultimate download, whatever high speed system you want. I was even given a free bloody Echo, but I haven't got it installed because of what I understand and know about Echo, so it isn't in this house, and I will manage to sell it to pay for the first month bill. So anyway, being that I have this high connection, and I have spoken to BT, and they are basically sending a main engineer out to test this and see what is going on while this is going on. If they confirm that there is no problems, and I've already done a check on my speed and it is running perfectly fine. So the fact that my internet is coming out, and even Dean's face has just looked at it when I've just shown him what it actually says that it's been stopped. So whether it be Crackbook yourself, and we will find this out because I will be back over on my YouTube channel. The only reason that I've committed to being over here is I know that a lot of you don't have high band BT home internet, and you're running off of contracts, pay-as-you-go mobile phones. So I understand that watching YouTube videos takes your minutes and your credits, hence why, you know, Crackbook is different. So hence why I know that a lot of you can access, you know, the internet this way, which is why I do them here and then I upload them later on. And then obviously the people who do have money then watch them over on that side, because not everybody is on Crackbook. A lot of people do believe that this is nothing more than fucking EastEnders bullshit. I came onto social media as a coach back in 2010. My intentions was for Step Up Britain to run with Success Principles, which is where I was, which, like I've said, crewing for Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, Alan Sugar, Donald Trump. In fact, even if you have a look at the guest list on the National Achievers Congress, let's see if this Trojan horse is actually on the border of all of this, maybe on somewhere a little bit different. And maybe we have many private companies that exist that also don't want this stuff out. Now, there is a bit of controversy on Demi Moore at the moment, and there is somebody that is claiming Demi Moore to be a paedophile. Now, one of the reasons that I'm saying goodbye is because of a situation that I've come home to today. I haven't been online today because I've been in Brighton, and I haven't had my phone, so I haven't been able to tag myself or do anything or let anybody know, you know, where I was or what I was doing, not take any photographs, blah, 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 because I haven't had my phone. So literally, it was quite interesting because I did one of the Dean managed to send me £1 from his account to my 50-something. In fact, it was just over £1 to my 50-something. So if you go to Tesco's and you've got £1.50 in your account, you can actually fill your car up. But I decided not to fill it up because I didn't want, when my money goes in, to completely swipe it out, and also because I'm having to try to sell things to keep things going, to patch up, to try to bridge this up until the 18th. Because when you get your monthly money, with the if you paid monthly and it's you're in say you get £3 a month, it's fine, because £1 of that will go into another bank and you won't even think about your bills. You're not thinking about them. It's not even part of your headspace. Do you know what I mean? You just literally go, I pay so much a month, say £895 with my rent, my gas, my electric, all these things, blah blah blah. So you just leave it, and then, you know, you can go, well, I've got this month budget. Now, there's people out there that will laugh the fuck out of people who talk about budgets. My friend Scott Alexander, he even wrote a post about it the other day. He was giggling his head out about people and budgets because he just doesn't think that way. He just does what he loves and knows that the Lord and the universe provides, and he lives the most wonderful, amazing, beautiful life. And he just has his book, Success Resources, and Rhinoceros Success, and he just does his workshops, seminars, events, just like we do as coaches. That's what a coach is. A coach is somebody who takes you from where you are to where you want to be and helps you bridge that gap. And it's all about that gap between where you are and where you want to be. And
I just interrupt you now. Are you live online?
Yes.
All right. That's the gift I wanted to give you from a very famous painter.
Oh, I've been given a gift. Would you like to do it on live? Somebody wanted an interview tonight.
No.
I've got to do a two-hour interview later.
I'm just trying to explain something to you. There's a picture of a very famous artist, and he's done a limited edition, only 10 of these in the world. Okay, so that's a gift for you.
Oh, look, Dean's got back from Spain. I did say he's been over in Spain, and he's brought me back a little gift. Can you see it?
It's hand painted from
Who's this?
Very famous artist.
Oh, he can get a plug. Who is it?
No, don't plug him. He's doing very well at the moment.
It's a magnet.
But it's not about that anyway. But what it is hand painted, and what he does, he's done 10 limited editions of different ones.
Oh, we could have a cool party in that field. Where is it?
Okay. Sorry to tell you, but
where is it?
This is a picture of Spain.
So this is in Spain here.
And this is hand painted.
And this is all hand painted.
Basically, these are 10 made of these. Obviously, he does a lot bigger paintings that go for hundreds of thousands of pounds. So
you see all the mountains all in the background there. So is this where you've just come from?
Yes.
So this is the guy's land and where he is and stuff. So this is like painted.
I'm not willing to discuss that with you.
No, but he's painted a yard.
I'm not willing to discuss that with you. So what I'm saying to you
I did say this on a live, but I am contract and commitment, hence why I don't really say much about it.
What I'm saying to you is that there's a limited edition 10 of them, and he gave me one of those to give to you. So look after it and put it somewhere safe, because there's only a limited 10 edition of them. So, alright, that was the gift I was going to give you anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, I'll let you get on, right?
But I have to come and say thank you now, so I have to hurry up and get off live quicker. Oh, this is a gift from Dean, from one of his friends. So there was only 10 of these hand painted, and this is on a magnet, and it's got his thing in. And what's really, really, really lovely about it is all the mountains in the background. I'd love to have a festival party in there. That'd be brilliant. Should we see if we can find out? Yes, I bet you it's probably. Anyway, I'll shut up. So anyway, I'll keep that saying. So, okay. So say you said you actually wanted to be here. So if you're sitting here watching live right now and you said, wow, that's really beautiful, I would love to go there. Well, I don't really want to put this in a whole genie in a box sort of thing. Like, the genie says you get 3 wishes. The genie actually said you get unlimited wishes, but I don't really want to go down that magic route, because I don't dabble in planes and worlds that exist in this universe and parallel universes and many other things, so I won't go there. But if you said, yeah, I'll take anything. So, I mean, name it. Just say one thing that you really wish that you could do that is so far out of your financial capabilities, your understanding or knowledge on how to do it, or where to go to find out, or whether you believe you can even do it in the first place, or just right now it just seems fucking impossible. Do you know what I mean? So if you just take one thing, call it fucking kicking the ball through a net, and call it a goal if you wanted to do, and that is a home run home goal. As you get off this live, you are in preparation now to turn that wish that the magical people want to talk about, or that intention, as just this physical plane, this flesh-eating, disgusting world that we live in right now, that hopefully that if we all had a revolution with ourselves and every single billion people of us on the universe all just one moment just completely stopped and just, well, we could on New Year, do you know what I mean? The whole world just could come to a stop this new year, and then we could all just understand what's going on in January about, you know, really genuinely thinking that maybe our lives aren't so bad when, you know, there's some real fucking shit going on in the world right now, and there's a fucking bigger picture going on. Our world is facing the biggest fucking car crash. Great Britain right now is a fucking sinking ship. Dean said, you know, so I mean, he's been on tour. He's always been on tour. It's just that social services have been cunts and hitting things on his dates, and it's been like because he's meant to have been booked, and then they've hit a child protection on us, and he's like, you know, so he's had to start with no equipment because he's lost his whole original crew and stuff, and restarting from complete scratch with no equipment, no stuff, no things. He's able to use other people's time, resources and stuff, just as I am at the moment. And it's really, really, really annoying when you don't have control of your own destiny. Car, do you know what I mean? You know, it's like driving in a car, having your backseat drivers and everybody around you and people holding your car and you're trying to get there while people are going, oh, can you just take me over here a minute? Can you just take me over here a minute? Or do you mind just running me over here a minute? And then people start taking your kindness for weakness. And I found myself in this situation that a lot of you out there are taking my kindness for weakness, and that's really not good to do. And I'm in a situation now where I want to sort of say to anybody who comes anywhere near me, read my book, and if you trigger me off, I am a loaded fucking gun, and I suggest you stay away from me, because I don't need to be triggered by anybody, and nobody has a right to troll me. Nobody has a right to question me about anything. Nobody has a right to make me justify myself. Nobody has a right to take me off track, and nobody has a right to believe that they have any ownership in my life because I chose to talk about my personal circumstances, and I didn't do it to give anybody the right to have any ownership of me. Nobody owns me, do you understand that? Just as nobody owns you either. No police officer, no social worker, no Babylon state, no whatever controls me. And I'm not somebody, no disrespect to a lot of you out there, when I stick my yellow jacket on, I then take it off. I don't need to be the sort of person that walks around to be feeling part of something, to be significant, to get their significance for a group, collective people, because I have my own identity. I know who I am, what I'm passionate about, what I love doing. Coaching is my job. My passions and hobbies are around that. And yes, it is something that I can build and make money on, but because I give myself way so much to people who just take the piss out of me, and this situation that has arisen, there's a mum who's currently not sitting in jail right now, and a baby that very potentially could come home again, but because parents and other people and stuff, and I get this a lot, whenever I put my head above the parapet for any of you, do you know, you project on me like fucking goodness knows what, because they push back. Because if you get me involved in your case, do you know how privileged and honoured you are to get somebody like me for free on the phone for up to 4 hours a time, sometimes even ringing me the next day? Even some people have even been in my personal space and spent time with me, and I've even been to people's homes and stayed with them 2-3 days. I have gutted homes. I have pulled their cookers out. I have cleaned their fucking fridges. I have taken freaking stuff out of people's houses. I've been into hoarders' houses and have to take their entire house out and put it into the freaking garden and completely reorganize stuff. I have done car boots with people. I have helped people get transportation cars. I have done people's freaking plans. I have advocated for people. I have legal represented for people. I have helped people with their psychological reports. I have helped people with their reports, just because I don't sit on crack books saying this is what I do, this is what I do, oh, I do this, I do this, oh, and I help this person out. It's none of your business. What I do like to give you is pieces of little bits of hope in the fact that tonight, yeah, not only did I come home to a message, which I can say publicly because I put my head over the parapet to help a mother who chose to run away and then turn to me and then beg me for fucking help. Okay, actually for nearly 4 days, begged me for help. And then when I have given them that exact service that they've got, they have then nailed me to the fucking cross. And I ain't having any of you nailing me, and certainly not my innocent children when you nail me to the cross. So because people like Lisa Bartle, and because people, every year it happens, and it takes a very small minority to ruin it for a mass amount of people. But when I see mums getting fucking tattoos of Yellow Jacket significance, but don't want to fucking stand really for what they're standing for, because the cause becomes too powerful. And actually, they love the freedom. They like not having childcare responsibilities. They start to realize that maybe actually they can't afford to have their children because, like myself, struggling for nappies, but I'm in a hopefully getting married next year to a man that I love and adore to ultimate cosmic university levels and beyond in eternity. And, you know, this brings us trauma, challenges that if I really wanted to, Dean doesn't even have to be in this country right now. I could be on tour with him. Me and the boys could be on tour with Dean, not having to worry about anything to do with this. Just maybe sitting up at night with bits and bobs of my paperwork, putting together my book, my story, roller skating, doing some art projects, maybe healing through, you know, I mean, I used to love jumping out the car at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and helping him hold up a stencil and sitting there and waiting until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and waiting for it to be all bloody quiet and dead and dropping him off quickly and then picking him up around the corner. You know, I get kicks out of doing that sort of shit, but it isn't stuff that's out here. So people who choose to troll me and say I'm this and that, you're not even getting 10% of who I am and what I'm about through social media. My pictures don't represent anything to do with me because nobody takes photographs of me. My Facebook doesn't represent anything to do with my time with my children because nobody is there taking photographs of me and my children and videos of me and my children doing stuff. You know, my Facebook doesn't represent me walking around on the phone to, you know, the MP secretaries for, you know, 15 minutes to then get through to the next person, to then actually going down to, you know, the MP's quarters, which literally I've done all the way around the UK. Sometimes I've been able to live, it's just because I've not had internet. Now I've got BT, which is why I paid for BT. If there's an MP's office, it's likely I can get BT. And BT now, Kelly Communications, you know, is pretty much all the way around the world. So Kelly can communicate wherever she likes. And hopefully it'll start, Kelly Communications can bloody sponsor this stuff soon. So, you know, people are very narrow-minded. How do you think MPs work? They have maybe 4 or 5 people who believe in them massively. They might be their best friend who owns Google, and that person turns around and goes, well, I'm going to give you 150,000 a year to go and do what you need to do, because MPs only get paid 60,000 a year, you know. So in order to take double buses around on tour and pay for the level of petrol, I mean, I've gone all the way. I'm probably going to get loads of fucking speeding tickets, and I've just had a speeding ticket. Bastards. I got a speeding ticket, 59 in a 50 in Wales the other day. I went a little bit faster because there's quite a lot of police, so I was coming through the toll. So after I wanted to get a bit ahead, and I put my foot down. They must have got me on one of the cameras. But I was in a Jeep, so they're going a bit hard on me because actually they really, the working class then don't like the above them, just as the working class then don't like the people who don't work. You know, it's a bit of a, do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a I'm better than you, you're lower than me, you got more than me, but I'm jealous of you. And you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It was car hire, but you know, like I said, because I'm a child care campaigner for, you know, what I do, I'm not going to say I am anymore, because there is some things I'm going to hang up my hats with. I'm wondering my alliance with Thorn, and that reason is because of this stuff going on with Demi Moore at the moment. And until I understand more about why people believe that maybe Demi Moore, and also because obviously, oh, his name's just gone right out of my head, but her ex-husband has stayed with Thorn. She has still involved in Thorn, but I do believe, yes, some people do good things as a cover for the bad things that they're doing. So I'm not saying she is, and I'm not saying she isn't. I'm saying that I'm not even willing at this particular point to even get involved, because if my lives are being taken out because this is being jammed, not being paranoid, just being aware that, like I said on my previous live, and on here, I have strong internet. I don't know if this is cutting out to anybody, but when I see them, they're all jammed up and all bubbled, and people are commenting in feeds to say it keeps going out, and then all of a sudden it's disconnecting. It is doing it on my phone, and it is doing it on here. And it has also done it when I have actually used another device in here, and it's still done it. There is only once that it hasn't done it, and that's when I was completely locked into what's called I won't even say it, because if I get the word wrong, it means something completely different. So it's basically a type of prayer. And that was the only time my live didn't cut off, and then actually I stopped, and then it did. So, yeah, so anyway, because of that reason, unless I have someone's threshold document, I have seen the grounds for the removal and the reasons why. And you know, I have read my entire threshold document for my removal out. And that's not even, if you read that, none of that, because it was all bullshit and lies, is even in the judgment to take one, you know, to adopt them. It reads from something completely fucking irrelevant. All it says is that I didn't agree or disagree to the original statement. And that's only because the barrister didn't. So to those who are in proceedings right now, or right at the beginning, please do, if the information is incorrect, please do make your barrister oppose it. And if not, sack him and do it yourself. You know, or find one that will. Keep adjourning until you find someone who goes in and opposes, or literally do it yourself, and then order the judge as a third party litigant in person. That you would then be, you would be classed a litigant as a person. That is what the terminology is, somebody self-representing themselves. It's called an LIP, litigant in person, and you are allowed to do so. You are allowed to have a Mackenzie or an advocate. I would be qualified, experienced to be a Mackenzie or advocate, but then it means I have to charge you. If I'm Mackenzie for you, I can do it as a voluntary Mackenzie, but then I am legally able to then charge you for costs and things like my travel, stuff like that. But ultimately, you know, you would be paying a fee, and to write your appeal is about £400. So I would have to turn around to you straight away and say, yes, I can write your doo-dah. And actually, because I have a psychology degree, I'm qualified to read your psychological reports. I'm probably the only person in this network who is qualified to read them and interpret them. That's the difference. Judges are not qualified to interpret them, neither are social workers. I'm qualified to interpret your psychological report. And just because they've said you've got this label, that's, you know, you don't then go and read that diagnosis and become what that's been said. It's completely irrelevant. It's unique to you. You know, you could have 100 people with the same diagnosis, but it doesn't mean that they deal with it or react in the same way. And that's the point. And the point being, Crackbook is the wrong platform. I go mad at Amber all the time because she doesn't understand the concepts of fundamentals and foundations, and that's because she's not an entrepreneur. It's not her gifts and it's not her skills, and I can't work with people at this particular point in my life without fundamentals and foundations in place, because it's like literally trying to build on sand. It just and it keeps putting me back, and I have to move forward right now, and my fundamentals and foundations are in Dean and my children and my family, and in my faith, and then obviously from there we have orders and things that go on in this country, like your credit score that has to be in order to be able to set up your bank accounts. If you don't have a bank account, then you don't have a way of taking in wages. If you, even universal credits now, you have to have a bank account. It goes directly to your bank account. There's no gyros in this world now. There's no checks in this world now. People don't use things that way now. There has to be an order and function of life. And if you don't have a mortgage, if you don't own a home, if you don't pay your bills by yourself, and I mean because you've gone to work to respectfully earn that money to be able to go to a shop, to purchase something, to invest in yourself, you really don't understand the fundamentals and foundations that it takes to maintain that, because you don't have that skill set, you don't have that self-discipline, you don't have that integrity, you don't have that, the majority of people who don't do that are living with shame. And if you're living with shame and guilt, and you don't have the self-confidence, and you come under all these labels and all these things, you are the parasite of society. You are the drain of society. You are the dredges of society. You are what is anchoring the ship down. You are what is costing society. The majority of council's budget is going on housing benefit costs, welfare needs and costs, social services, and obviously people within the NHS. But even within the NHS, you want to see the high amount of missed appointments, failures to turn up, that have cost millions, because people want to say, oh, I can't get there, because they have a codependency attitude. And also there are genuine people who have disabilities, and people who should be told that if they get pregnant, ordered by the court, that they have to have it terminated. And you can't have a moral compass if you don't understand that there are levels of learning difficulties and disabilities where people cannot and never, ever will be able to have the capability, competence, understanding, and personal responsibility for caring and looking after a baby. There are people that smother babies. There are people that will lay cracked out on the sofa while a baby is covered in vomit and shit with a bubble next under its neck. There are people who will walk around in with a baby in a buggy with a bottle with it fucking got a thing under it, and they will walk around town doing this, and some of them will stand there having a fag where their baby's fucking choking, and then they're wondering why their baby's dead. Yeah, man, they'll walk around with a fag in their hands over the top of the baby as well. What? I mean, I'm struggling with the fact that I'm having to sit under a window like this, in a flat like this, with my kids, with the smoking, and I'm going mad at it, and I'm so annoyed with myself all the time, and I'm pissed off at myself because of these conditions that I'm living in. And my kids want to come in with me, and then I get annoyed because I get no freaking peace. And it's like, even and I'm a hypocrite, yeah, because my kids are in a flat. They're in their bedroom right now, and I've just had a fag literally out the window. And I don't want to be that sort of person. Nobody should want to be that sort of person. But where does the line draw? It's like, should you be a vegan or should you be a meat eater? Well, I love barbecues, but I don't really want to unhumanely have an animal killed in order for me to eat it. But if they have died by natural causes, then yes, why not? But then if a human died by natural causes, would I want a human burger? a human burger. The new hamburger is the human burger. You know, so you know, it's so difficult to know somebody's intentions. And the challenge is, if I put my head above the parapet for a parent or a family that isn't willing to share documents with me. And the funny thing is take Lisa Bartle for an example. And I can, and I will, and whoever it is that wants to go and share it to her, fine, send this video, send it to the police, bring them to my door, I dare you. You know, bring a section 17 on my children. This is exactly the reason why I won't do this anymore. Because it's people like Lisa Bartle who are absolutely fucking flipping dangerous, just as the one last year, whatever her name was, are very dangerous to me as a mother who has triggers and traumas, and to my children who are innocent little babies in there, that if she ever actually led to the removal of my children because of that action, she would have to actually accept, and the police know it, social services know it, because the person who removed it would be the first with a bullet in their head. The people involved with it would be the next, and Lisa Bartle would be on that list too. That's fact, that's truth, that's thing, and a psychological report will stamp it and rubber dip it. But the differences in this country is by me actually saying that that act hasn't actually occurred. Now, what you're saying is I could potentially kill someone. No, what I said is if somebody created for my child to be removed from me, it would push me to an ultimate trauma situation that would put me in a situation that I would potentially, rather than forgive them for what they've done, Father, I would turn to show no mercy. Well, that hasn't happened. My children are in bed safely right now. What I'm saying is possibly in the future, maybe, potentially, somebody out there could cause a level of trolling that causes a situation within this house, like me being completely fucking brain fogged that I didn't take the keys out with me when I did the bins because of taking 5 minutes to fucking deal with the trigger war going on and fuckwords. Yeah, so it causes me to stumble. So if you cause me to stumble while carrying 2 children, then ultimately I'd have every right to deal with that possibly future. Maybe if that was to happen, I have a right to tell you how I'm going to deal with it. So just don't put me in that situation for it to happen. And unfortunately, what happens with social media is what you forget is I've been here since 2010. Okay. I've been online, on here, on social media, a different account, because I have shut my accounts down on numerous occasions because of arseholes like the people that do this that I'm talking about right now. And if I'm not talking about you, then you're not an arsehole. And if you are taking it personally, then it is you. So, you know, and if you are, then I kindly ask you right here on this live now for me to be able to refresh my life and remove the people from me who are not here for good purpose and good intentions. And if you're not here sitting and liking and loving and you're just angry, or you're just sitting there because you're just watching because you want to let my dad know how I'm getting on, or you're watching me because you can't have an interpersonal relationship with me, but you're what I might say about you, so therefore you want to watch it just in case you want to point the fingers at me. Or maybe you watch it because somebody tells you, oh, watch this fucking idiot, she doesn't know what she's talking about, or actually you have no other life and I'm more interested in than EastEnders. Well, I'm not a show. It isn't the Kelly Cotton show like some people want to think about it. It's not a game. This is my real life. This is my real trauma. This is my real personal circumstances. This is the real things that I go through every day and deal with differently, that different triggers and different traumas that I deal with. I just passed a van today when we were in Brighton, and it's just one of those what used to be called handicapped vans, but it's what the new brand Variety. They used to have one of these at Save the Family. When I see that, I want to go and kick the fucking crappy van in. But I know that that van has nothing to do with Save the Family. It's the same branding. But then it makes me wonder if maybe because they're using this same van, whether I should maybe investigate it and actually if there's more involved in this charity. And I can't then live like that. Do you know what I mean? It's constant, 24/7. I am constantly wondering whether a policeman is a good policeman or a corrupt policeman, whether the social worker is okay or if it's just the fact that she's incompetent. And you know, I mean, me and Dean were stood in a till in Asda today, right? And we got a bunch of students in front of us that couldn't collate together on what the bill was between them all and what was going on and whether they needed to put one of the bottles of wine back. And we're stood there going, oh my goodness. And this is the future generation that's going to be, you know, leading this world at this time when people like me are coming into, you know, retirement and, you know, needing to be able to live safely with knackered bodies, of which I already do. And these are going to be the leaders. These are going to be the leaders of our lives. So we've got a bit of an issue. I'm 41. We have an older generation that has fought a war 75 years ago. Most of them are out on the fucking streets as veterans because nobody gives a damn on what happened to these people that they just trained up to be killers to go off, who are living with post-traumatic stress and disorder. And a lot of people are in grief because they've lost the loves of their lives or families have broken down. Some of them are doing okay. A lot of them are living on not much money because people didn't think about buying a load of property in order to be able to sell it off once they got into their retirement age. And most people went to work thinking about retiring and going living over in Spain and then realised that actually they could have gone to Spain years ago. You know, so, and then you've got us in the middle sort of things that are realising that life could have been very different if we knew what we knew now when we were 17. And then we've got all these 17-year-olds who are going to get to my age and then turn around and realise that they could have taken a very different path. So it's difficult because you're dealing with a bigger picture and then a smaller path. But majority of you don't even come on here with your real profiles. That annoys me, pisses me off, fucking pisses me off. Most of you don't come on here with your real names. That pisses me off. I get it. Anonymous, you want to stand behind masks? People can only come together if they've got a fucking yellow vest on. And other people want to come under stuff just because it means they can be a little bit anarchy. And I think you're all losing the plot and lost the complete message of what it is that we've been trying to deliver to you. And what annoys me is you all have a massive big opportunity just by being on this live now, just by being around right now, to really sort of sit there and go, did I actually screw my fucking life up? And I do this too to myself, eyes closed and all of that, but reflection of one's own mind when I talk to you and talk to myself as well. So, you know, if I'm being a hypocrite, as Dean says, learn from it, you know. So you have an opportunity here now to really realise that actually you can just sit and go through your paperwork. You can just actually knuckle down and learn the law. You can just sit there and actually go and file over to a court. You can actually fill out, I think it's a C100 to ask for contact for your children. You can, or an N100 or C100, I think it's a C100 form. You fill it out, you apply to the course and you have to see your children. You know, and if you're not in a situation to support your children and be there for the children and step away from them and not scream that, you know, your children have gone. If you need trauma therapy to deal with it, there are post-adoption places where you can go for counselling. You can ask for this service. A lot of them turn out to have been either people who were adopted or had children who've become counsellors, and they're really lovely people. Not all social workers are cunts. Not all people are out there trying to take kids. What is happening is we are under a system that is actually really, really, really good. It's just that it can't treat people as individuals, and it's treating people as a mean modium. And actually, Great Britain has become one massive big pot study. And we've got surveillance cameras fucking everywhere. Dean said to me, he said, oh, I said, sometimes I didn't see a police car for miles. And like, you know, he was like, I must have seen like 5 cameras. And it's like, you know, to then come back to the UK where it's like camera city, you know, he said it's, and you know, I love traveling and stuff, but we went to Bulgaria, even Bulgaria, you know, the UK, we went through like, when we went through the airport, I know most of you haven't even got a passport. That's what's so sad about this situation. Go get a fucking passport. Do you know how much you can get a flight for? Once you've got your passport, do you know what? Driving license and passport is one of the most vital things. I am broke as fuck. But do you know what? We get every day completely blessed. So I was saying at the beginning of the video before I got cut up from ranting with the police about being inspired and stuff, and I got onto a rant because I really don't like being cut off when it's not me doing it. So, and I want to go and say thanks to Dean for my doodah thing, but I just want to quickly say, you know, we could have turned around and said that there was no way we could achieve what we needed to achieve today to go and get over to Brighton. I didn't have my charger, no videoing, no nothing. But you know what? We literally had what was the petrol. It's going to do it again. Fuck off. It's just moved my mouse. It has just moved my mouse down to that exit thing, and we're just going to do it again. And I just moved it off. So it's not scary. Yeah, okay. Seriously, I said to you on the live, my arrow fits down and it just presses the end live video, and it does it. I'll sit here like this through a live. Yeah, I'll sit in my lives like this from now on. Yeah, and if I could actually video it at the time to see it when it zooms down, literally when the mouse on the cursor goes right down to the end live video and cuts out. That's yeah, and it's not me doing it. Wow. I've caught it a couple of times, so yeah, it went to do it again. So I will say I'm finished, and then I'm going to go to bed because I'm bloody knackered. And I think Dean's off again, so I don't know, or out with the boys, but yeah, we could have said, and I was talking about the gap, so we could have said that it was absolutely impossible to achieve what we wanted to do today to get over to Brighton and back. But it ended up being a blessing because we said we might not have enough petrol to get back. And because I've already done one of my petrol things, sometimes it takes 24 hours or a bit more if you get it over a weekend. But if it's a weekday, it can quite kick. Sometimes you can do it twice if you can double use the money. But I didn't want this big lump sum to have to try to raise back because I hate having to pay the money back. I hate it. I don't ever have loans, don't do all that shit. To have to do this for you guys is what's pissed me off the most. The fact that I'm dealing with all of this trolling and I've got to pay all this money back. So now my personal money is now paying back this loan that's causing me trauma, plus the other 250 that I had to get from Doodah, because don't forget I was trying to get it all together to get the actual van to get out for you guys. So being that it's just cost me, you know, my life, writing my book, getting over to Trinidad, sorting stuff out, going over to Spain with Dean, that's like really annoyed me. So now for the next goodness knows how many times I'm paying £20 back to whatever to all of having this has now trapped me, and I'm not willing to do that. So and I won't do it again. Especially when you don't help me, and that's what annoys me. So I am not willing to put my head above the parapet in July for people who aren't going to do anything. I won't see anyone. I'm going to do a test, and on the 1st of July, I want to see how many people have stuck their Red X on their hands and have changed their entire profile over. And if I see literally 1, 2, or 3 people who have done it, I ain't interested anymore. I want to go on to FEA, and when I scroll down the 7,000 people that are there, I want to see every 7,000 people on there changing over their profiles, so then their networks of people see it and change theirs on that day, and their networks change it on that day. And if you can't be asked doing that, then what's the point of the 7,000 people of you being on this page? Why am I wasting my time? So I'm going to leave you with that thought. So literally tomorrow you can get up and choose what you want to do. Did you know that? You have a choice. You can get up and do what you wanted to do. Okay, right now you're not waking up to your life being exactly where you want to be. but little steps are baby steps to a long way. You can set a date of something you want to achieve, and as long as you're reasonable, smart about these goals and don't be you can be unrealistic with goals. Amber is very unrealistic with goals because she doesn't understand the seeds and the timing and the watering and the process and gestation that things take. And she should understand that, because you have to go to shops to buy ingredients. It costs money. If you want to bake a cake, it has certain ingredients. It needs certain tins, things, ovens, gas, electrics, all the different bills that comes with all of that you have to actually put into it. Even the costs of the oven, everything, the tins, everything, the tax, the VAT that's gone into all of that, plus the time that it's taken and the cost that it's paid for you to be able to do that, and everything that's touched it, then down to the costs of the delivery to do in order to be able to do that. You can't think that way. So that's dangerous to me. And certainly when Dean and I are trying to really build our relationship, really build trust. So when Amber, on the day that I am going to meet with Dean, and I have just posted, and then sends me something, then that level of gaslighting to me that causes injury in the time that I'm going to spend with something reminds me that Amber and her family are feminists, are anti-men, and unintentionally aren't that great with, have sons and nephews and laws, but I need to be around people who are in marriages and have families, and people who are in single lives and never want a relationship, and relationship means pain to you, will always sabotage somebody in a marriage. It's a natural thing to do, unfortunately. Even if you have good relationships, there will always be some triangulation going on at some point, and I don't need to be triangulated by nobody right now. So I've chosen to protect and safeguard my family. I don't know how this process in time is going to go, and I'm just going to cut off and go to bed. So have a great night. Catch you later. Bye.